Você que ainda não aproveitou e não entrou lá no Cambly ou baixou o aplicativo do Cambly e já fez a aula de graça que a gente oferece aqui, vai lá que ainda dá tempo de fazer isso. O que você está esperando? Dá para fazer de casa, dá para fazer do celular, dá para fazer do trabalho naquele tempinho que você tem. É só ter internet ligada, um computador, um tablet ou um celular na sua frente e tudo certo. Tem professor nativo 24 horas por dia te esperando por lá. Então, de novo, Cambly.com, Cambly se escreve C-A-M-B de bola L-Y, ou aplicativo do Cambly, coloca lá nos minutos grátis o nosso cupom Inglês no Micro Podcast. Dessa forma, você pode aproveitar e testar tudo aqui que você aprende no Inglês no Micro Rádio e começar a falar, né, gente? Que é o mais importante de tudo, ultrapassar essa barreira. Se eu não te convenci até agora, em dezembro, a minha missão nesse mês é te convencer, tá? Então é isso. Inglês no Micro Podcast é o nosso cupom. Now, on with the show.
Hello. Alexia, do you want to do the introduction?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Inglês no Micro Rádio. This is your co-host, Alexia, of course, and I'm here with Foster Hodge, our favorite American teacher in the world.
Hello. Hey, everyone. How are you? I don't know. I feel like my radio voice is getting deeper and deeper.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's the rain.
Maybe it's the mood that the rain sets.
Perhaps. So this week on the show, if you guys have not listened to the earlier episodes, we are talking about our experience in Washington, Nossa Senhora, Washington, D.C. And yeah, we're going to talk about some of the things that we did, some of the places that we visited. And Alexia, where do you want to start today?
I want to talk about one of the first things that we did there.
Okay.
So our first day, we got to the National Mall, and then we started to walk through the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, we walked to the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, but through the National Mall, right?
Yeah, we were walking in the National Mall, which, as we mentioned, is like a big federal park with a lot of statues, sculptures, buildings, a lot of very important historical stuff, which includes the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes. And Lincoln, of course, it was a very, very important person for the United States of America.
Yes. So he was a very important person. You said it was a very important person?
I don't know. I don't remember, but I was thinking he. Maybe it's because I was thinking about the memorial.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah. You said it, but I think you were thinking about the memorial. Anyway, totally fine. When you're talking about a person, normally you want to say he, she, them, whatever. Yeah. So do you know Lincoln's first name?
Abraham.
Almost.
No?
Abraham.
Okay, Abraham.
Yeah, because that's a crazy name. Still kind of common, but not so common in English nowadays.
It's in the Bible.
It is in the Bible. It is still a very common name in other languages.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of Spanish speakers named Abraham.
Abraham. Yeah.
Abraham. Yeah. So Abraham Lincoln. Did you know anything about Abraham Lincoln before we visited the Lincoln Memorial?
I did know a few things, but I couldn't talk much about it. Of course, I knew that he was one of the presidents of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He was very, very important because he ended with the slavery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. In general, I don't think we would say ended with. We would simply say ended. But yeah, that is totally right. He was a very important, perhaps the most important figure in the abolishment of slavery. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How could I say that? The emancipation?
Yes, the emancipation of slavery. So I think that's a great place to start. So one of the things that Abraham Lincoln, first, do you know which president he was for us? What number?
No, of course not.
He was the 16th president of the United States.
Who was before him?
George Washington.
And after?
Well, I mean, there were 15 people before him.
No. The one before it and the one after.
Oh, the 15th and 17th presidents of the United States?
Do you know that?
No. There are 45 of them. Not off the top of my head. Okay. So one of the things he was most famous for was the Emancipation Proclamation.
And when was this? Which year? I don't remember anymore.
This was in and around... I'm not exactly sure. It was at the end of the Civil War.
Okay. So 1880, 70...
Something. I'm not exactly sure about the American Civil War dates off the top of my head. In general, with American history, I'm not that good, so don't ask me specific dates, please. But Emancipation Proclamation, which is a difficult but fun thing to say. Can you try to say that with me?
What?
The Emancipation Proclamation.
The Emancipation Proclamation. That's so hard. Emancipation Proclamation. Proclamation. So, proclamation.
Yeah, proclamation.
Proclamation.
Okay.
Proclamation.
I'll try to say it normally.
Proclamation.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Emancipation Proclamation.
It's kind of a tongue twister. But do you understand that? To emancipate something?
Just like in Portuguese, a proclamação da República. So, está proclamando algo.
Exactly. So essentially, the United States was in a very serious and bloody civil war. And near the end of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln proclaimed the Emancipation Proclamation, which was an executive order coming from the office of the President of the United States, saying no more slavery. All the slaves now are free people. And obviously it was much more complicated than that, but it was a really, really big deal at the time and still nowadays. That was a pivotal moment in American history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that is so interesting that he was so important for the United States for many reasons. And of course, we don't have to tell the story about Abraham Lincoln right here. But the only one thing that everyone knows or should know more about him is about the emancipation situation thing.
Yeah, if you are going to just learn one piece of knowledge today, it is that Abraham Lincoln is most well known for ending slavery in the U.S.
Which, till nowadays, is one of the biggest problems of the United States is the racism.
Racism.
No, racism.
There we go.
Yeah.
So just to put into context how important of a president that Abraham Lincoln was, another very famous thing that he is known for is the Gettysburg Address.
No idea what that is.
So Abraham Lincoln made a very famous speech right after the Civil War saying 77 years ago. That's the only part I know by heart. Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
What? Wait, because we started with this fourscore. What's this?
Fourscore is, I want to say, 14 years. Oh my goodness.
But no problem. But it's like a time.
Yeah, it's a quantity of, I can't remember if it's 14 or 10. I don't remember. Yeah, I want to say it's 10 years.
Let's say that it's 10 years, so no problem ago.
It's a quantity of time, and no one uses that phrase anymore.
So 7 years ago, let's say that it's 10 years, would be like 17 years ago. That's the modern way of saying it. But during that time,
yeah,
he used to say
would actually be 40. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. So after the Civil War was fought largely upon the idea of slavery, and the South still had a lot of slaves, and they were fighting to maintain the institution of slavery, and they wanted to become an independent country, and it turned into this bloody, awful mess that was the Civil War. So Lincoln had a completely divided country. He just proclaimed the Emancipation Proclamation and said, no more slavery, and then he gives this beautiful, famous speech where he just unites the country, brings everyone together, and he's awesome.
We should clap. Yeah.
We should probably clap, and a lot of historians would probably say that Abraham Lincoln is the best, the most important, if not one of the best and one of the most important American presidents of all time.
Yeah, when you get to the Lincoln Memorial, there is his statue.
Yeah, a big
Yes.
statue.
How can I say this? A big-ass statue.
You can say a big-ass statue. I think it might be a little bit disrespectful to one of our greatest presidents.
It's a huge statue. And on the corners,
Sure.
yeah, there is the Emancipation, right? Written, I
On
think.
the walls.
Yeah, on the walls. And it's like a Greek thing, if you think about it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Pantheon or the Parthenon. Yeah, those huge Greek structures.
So I see him like as a god because of what he has done for the United States.
Yeah, and apparently he was really, really tall anyway, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, if you are in DC, I would highly recommend checking out the Lincoln Memorial. It's definitely worth it. And if you're just more interested in Abraham Lincoln in general, there was an excellent movie about him that came out of maybe 10 years ago that was just called Lincoln, and I would highly recommend that as well.
I need to watch that as well.
Cool. We can do that.
Yay. Okay.
Okay, so we will be back tomorrow talking a little bit more about American history in Washington, D.C. And yeah, until then, stay healthy, stay curious, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye! Muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio aqui do nosso Inglês de Necro Rádio. Como sempre, vou pedir para você deixar sua review, deixar o seu e-mail no nosso site inglesdenecru.com, ficar de olho nas novidades que a gente sempre manda, nossos recursos grátis, enfim, todas as novidades que a gente puder, a gente vai estar compartilhando com vocês, principalmente por e-mail. Então, é isso. Eu quis aqui dar esse recado. Como sempre, obrigada pelo suporte e a gente se vê no próximo episódio, tá bom? Bye!